Hey there everyone, and welcome to the start of a new Neo Monsters community tournament. This one is being hosted by Lemon Squeezy, who is a guy in my clan actually, who's a good friend of mine, and he's been putting together this incredibly big tournament, which is a clan versus clan battle. Now, there were, in the end, 4 clans that actually stuck with it. It was very intense, weekly battles, battling everyone within a group. So anyway, let's go into it, and it's been a little chaotic trying to organise the whole thing because there's so many people involved. Now, I was in Group A, and the way this is done is that each week we fight against someone else within our group, and each of the clans put forwards the members, so there's one person from each clan in each group. So over the course of 5 weeks, we did battles with all the other people in our clan. In week 1, you can see here, I was face-off against Chown. That's the battle that we're going to be looking at here. And when we did the battles, we did 3 battles, always under the same rules, except for one of them which changed weekly, which was a certain element was excluded each week. So anyway, this battle is me against Chown, and before we get stuck into it or go any further, I want to say that I was in a really, really bad place when I came to do these battles. Unfortunately, it was during a ranked PvP weekend which I pushed in, and I slept for very little over that weekend. I was incredibly sleep deprived. In fact, when I did these battles, because of the way the time zones worked out, and I mean, he's in Australia, I'm in the UK, it's just opposite sides of the world, and I had been awake for about 24 hours straight after only a 3-hour sleep and then a 4-hour sleep the night before. I was absolutely shattered and basically falling asleep half an hour before this battle. But anyway, I ended up staying up to do the battles, and I made some poor choices in the battles throughout, so I'll try not to sound too bitter while going through these battles. And when I say bitter, that's no reflection of how the battles actually spanned out, like, whether I won or not. But I will try not to get too caught up over my mistakes as best I can. Anyway, so this first battle which we did was under the special rules, which we always do for all the first battles, which is a 173 team cost battle. Now, extra restrictions for this was that we couldn't use any low cost monsters, so any 0 to 4 cost monsters couldn't be put in the team. We also had to have all the secret skills on for our monsters, so it's really pushing people towards using epics and super epics. I mean, mainly super epics, because most epics are not viable. So yeah, using super epics and any legendaries which we do put in cost our team a lot more. And then for that reason, because it was kind of, they were a little bit worried that it would push people using Cannon Shogun and Cannon Shogun front lines, that it would just, dominate the meta of what people are going to be using. They decided to also remove Cannon Shogun. So it's low cost teams. Let's have a look at what I created. What I went with was a link water setup for this. You can see also at the top here, there's the 130 a link storm setup, which you'll see in one of my later videos. But anyway, this particular time I used a link water setup, and I've got pretty much all water monsters. The only non-water monsters are Angel Lion and Tigeron, because they're brilliant. I also went with all legendaries, and I've only got 12 monsters in the team. There's all legendaries apart from 2. So this is also built around sleep. The front line has a bit of cool stuff going on, a couple of fast sweepers, and then some give turn and stun protection and stuff. Then I've got some really good setup for, what you really want to see in Link Water teams is 5th slot Seller Shine, 6th slot Gaia Murai. They're incredibly powerful for coming in and doing the fast strike, and then coming in and having the Link Slayer Bane, unless you kill it before it gets a turn. So I went with a very strong Link Water setup here. We've got Angel Lion for the stun protection, and then at the back we've got loads of sleep. That's my general plan, and it looked pretty strong. I thought I was going to do well with it. Then Chown's team here, we've got 14 monsters. He used slightly more lower cost monsters than I did, and this is actually with some of them not with the secret skill on. All the secret skills are meant to be on, it's just he didn't bother changing it for then doing the screenshot to send to me. So if you add all the secret skills on, it gets a bit closer to the 173 cost. I don't know exactly what it was, but anyway, I'm not going to bother working it out. So he had a very similar Link Water setup at the beginning here, but with Megalo Dragon rather than my Cyclozar. And then he went with also a Protector, but it's not actually a Protector because he doesn't have any other Abyss Soldiers. So in fact, that Abyss Soldier is just for the double counter-strike, and also the Purifier can be quite useful there. I believe it has Switch Friend too. I cannot remember the exact moveset of the second form there. But anyway, he's also got the Karu Kenshi in 5th slot, which is excellent when it comes in, shields the team. That's going to make his front line just do exceptionally well. So his front is going to do some work. A bit more so than mine, which is more set up for just general value rather than actually properly being tough to get through. He then went with a fun combo between Dolphinix and Dolphreeze. Yes, I did say this correctly. Dolphinix and Dolphreeze, they've got their super skills on, which are fun to go with. Very rare we ever see anyone use that, so that's a lot of fun. Then we've got Sober King, bit of stun protection, bit more stun protection, and then some stun stuff at the back, along with Penguinator and Moku, that both are incredibly annoying at the back. If you don't kill them before they get a turn, they can kill your whole team. So, very powerful team that he put together there. Let's have a look at the battle. We start off by having a bit of an annoying time for me, really. His Megalo Dragon goes first, and really annoyingly, my Glaceon is ahead of his one, so I could have Kinslayed it. And in fact, with all the water monsters in there, Kinslayer would have been brilliant. But unfortunately, he got to Sonic Strike mine, first of all. So I can now use the Link Fast Strike on the Glaceon. I realise as I'm doing this commentary, I actually haven't looked at these videos before doing this commentary, so we're going to be finding out together what I do. So I decided to go for Bloomaluga rather than Glaceon because I don't have any stun coming in, and I just what was it actually? No, I think in hindsight I probably should have killed Glaceon. I said I wasn't going to focus on my mistakes here, but anyway, so I went for Bloomaluga rather than Glaceon. And then I think maybe I was trying to open him up to stun a bit more, but I don't really have too much stun anyway. But anyway, so now I'm going to kill his Glaceon. Make the most of that overconfident strike hitting the shielded monster. Get rid of Karu Kenshi before that does the Link double give turn, except it actually couldn't, so it wasn't a huge issue. But like I said, I wasn't really paying too much attention. But anyway, so that's that there. I need to get rid of one of the phoenixes there, because one of the dolphins, that's it. Because we're going to have issue there. Otherwise, I gave turn to the Link Slayer so we actually took out both of them. And now I'm panicking because I'm thinking, no, his Megalo Dragon can do the... actually, no, sorry, I don't realise it. This is where my big mistake comes in this. I do step back because I think he can't use the solo blood bite, but then I didn't realise that actually he's got no water monsters, so he could use it. So he just immediately killed my Angel Land. What I was trying to do quite cleverly there was to step back into the stun counter before I brought in his Sober King, but I completely messed that one up. So anyway, now I've got no stun protection. There's no way of getting around this. I've just got to bring in the Sober King. So I killed the Diamondoid, bring it in, and get my whole team stunned. Dreamy Entrance went on my Celestine. He can now just the Purifier. Diamondoid can't really do that much, so it skips turn with it. Manages to take out my Goromuro with that Slayerbane. And now Megalo Dragon can't use the Solar Blood Bite, so he just skips with it. Sober King gets another turn here, does another Slayerbane, takes one of the Cyclozar. Great work there with Sober King. However, I got incredibly lucky with these Dreamy Entrances, going on the Purify first of all, and then onto Megalo Dragon. So now two of his monsters are asleep. Diamondoid can't really do that much. The only problem is the Sober King, which I can't really get to, especially because my Celestine is asleep. So I do the step back, just trying to spam as much Dreamy Entrance as I can. Get a turn with Tardigrade. I could do the Tarda Cannon, but I probably should give turn to Wraith Captain to clone it, because he's going to kill that off, and that's not going to work well for me. So that's what I do. I give turn and clone it. He can use the Divine Rage at this point, or Divine Rebirth. Actually, no, he hasn't passed quite enough time for Divine Rebirth. Does the Divine Rage anyway. Takes out the Tardigrade and my other potential sleep thing. I've now slept his entire team, which is excellent. You know, maybe I can pull off a sleep block here, so we hit the Diamondoid. That doesn't matter about waking it up. And I can hopefully charge the blood crave on my Polarian here. So I take a moment to properly consider things. I know that Fisher Soldier Turquoise is going to wake up before anything else. Now, I actually mess up here as well, because I think that his monster that's about to come in was the Sherloid, and I thought he was going to purify the team. However, it's actually a Houdinoid. So that's why I got rid of the Purify, because I thought if he has 2 Purifies, there's no way that I can get through this. But what I probably should have done at that point was to kill Sober King. But anyway, then he also has Centurion, which is just a massive counter to everything I've got, because he can instantly Purify and as well as Night Watch. So I mean, that just stuffs it. There's no way I can come back from that. Centurion's just going to massacre me. So unfortunately, from here, I try and draw out the battle as best I can, but he's even got a Protector set up now, and it's not gonna go well. So I'm thinking about my options here, but you can probably tell, no, this is it. I know I've messed up. And his Centurion, if I had maybe played a little differently, I don't know if maybe it could have gone more in my favour. But the thing is, he did always have that Centurion, which is going to set up, just counter my sleep stuff beautifully, as well as I did get very lucky with my Dreamy Entrance. And if we replayed this, I probably wouldn't have got so lucky with my Dreamy Entrance. So trying to actually make it work in a different way might have been out of reach. But I did wonder when doing this battle, because I'd mentioned in the line chat that I planned to use my Polarian. And I think I hinted it was going to be in this first battle, and then I realised this is really bad because Chown reads this chat and he saw it, and so I was thinking when I saw his Centurion, I bet he put that in there because he knew that I was going to use Polarian. And I mean, Polarian completely gives away what I was going to do, because Polarian's a Link Water Sleep monster, so I was clearly going to use Link Water Sleep. But anyway, it's how it was, and he said afterwards he was going to use Centurion anyway, which, to be fair, Centurion is a brilliant monster, so it was always going to be in his team. So, as you can see, I'm drawing out this match, but I do know that I'm going to lose. There's not really a whole lot I can do. I actually, the main reason why I didn't retreat immediately is because I wanted to try out Echomaris, and see what Echomaris is like in practice. But anyway, yeah, he's gonna finish me off here. So, we'll just let it play out. I probably shouldn't have drawn it out at this point. I should have just let him finish me off, especially in hindsight when I'm watching this video. But anyway, great first match for Chown. He did a good job. Really took advantage of just some really good targeting and that kind of stuff. His team was built very well. I'm not sure if I could have stood a chance if I played any better. So anyway, let's have a look at the second battle now. So the special rules for the second battle were to only use 2 elements. So you've got to make pretty much link teams, and we can't this week use Earth. So anything other than Earth, we can put in our teams. I decided to pick the 2 elements of Storm and Fire. Reason being, I wanted to just have fun and try something different. The obvious choices for 2 elements, I would say, for most people is probably going to be Water and Holy, because Water is arguably the best link element right now. And then Holy has some really powerful monsters in it, which if you have them, it's just great to include. So I was going to make a Water Holy, and then I was like, you know what, I'm here to have fun. I'm going to make Storm Fire, because I don't think I'd ever make a Storm Fire team at any other point. Fire is just probably my weakest element, and then Storm is something which I have a lot of fun with, and I've made some strong Storm teams in the past, and I wanted to use Bulby Boom again. So anyway, this is my Link Storm / Fire team, and it's pretty much Storm all the way. You can see I've got the 1-on-1 in the front line with Jackohotep to switch friend into the Don Dolguini, which is the Link Storm 250-second Mega Bomb type thing. So that works really nicely with Stratostrike, and I, rather than having it in the front line, I decided to do the switch friend into it because Don Dolguini has Purify, which means I can use Tigeron and Ryzen in there, and I can wake them up so they're doing work whether or not, rather than being asleep. And this gives 1-on-1 a lot more reliability than just to put 1-on-1 in there and just, hope that time is going to pass. If I can wake my monsters up, that's going to be brilliant. And then also in 5th position, I have Dracozoard Z, which has the Purify Mist and good speed. So if things go badly and I lose the Jack-O-Tep before I can switch Friend into my Purify, I've got a Purify Mist come in too. So this is how you build a very reliable 1-on-1 setup. Now my 2 other monsters that I went with, I recently got Ryzen, so I wanted to try that out. And then Tigeron I found is just quite good for this kind of setup. It's very reliable with the stun converter there and the double give turn, which after time has passed, which 1-on-1 you'd hope time had passed, that's very good for keeping the reliability and keeping things flowing, to just keep sweeping through the enemy team. Then I've got a couple of Link Storm monsters. I've got some Storm monsters. The Penguinator in there with the secret skill, the Link Double Retribution, very powerful there, and by the Protector as well. I was planning to, try to get that in Protect, and then at the same time as Penguinator's in there, then he's pretty messed up because it's difficult to kill the Penguinator before it gets a kill. Then I got the Stun Protection. Then we got some other stuff. Got Zeus Worm with the secret skill on shortly before Bulbaboom, which gives some potential to try and set off the fuse explosion. Have some fun with Bulbaboom. And then we've gone into some fire monsters at the back. I've got Ahuizard, which I really wanted to include because I figured he would probably include water. So the counter strike on that is good. And then I've got the Jingle Dragon before that to add a couple of rocks to the end of my team for Ahuizard to do the throw with, the raw throw. And then we've got Asterios, which I really wanted in 5th slot for the Link Blood Bite. I haven't really got loads of fire monsters, but if all goes well and I've done the switch friend with Jackalope, I have got 5 fire monsters there at the back in a row. So hopefully I can get the Link Blood Bite going and otherwise just have some fun with my team. Looking at Exu's team, Jown's team, he did go with Water Unholy. So you can see a lot of these similar kind of water monsters which are used in the previous team. He's got that lovely kind of setup going on in the second half of the team especially. It's pretty much from the halfway point, that part beyond is very similar to what we saw in his first team. He's also then got the Moku at the back. And his front is... It's what I would say a bit of a meta team right now, with the Sherloid as just a protector that lots of people are using, and then the Jaguardian, which works very nicely with Sherloid because it's got Stealth Bane to take down another Sherloid, or it's got the double retribution if your Sherloid's gone down, and yeah, it's just works very nicely in that. So anyway, those two, that pair is good. Then he's got the Flutter Drake with Stun Absorbers, the Stun Protection. Worm. Bit of an interesting choice there, I guess, because he was anticipating using a protector. Probably doesn't know I hate protectors, so there wasn't going to be a protector in my front line. There was actually one in the 5th slot, but I pretty much never put one in the front line. That's a little note there for you. If you ever face me in a tournament, there's probably not a protector in my front line. I hate that. So anyway, then going back, you can see he's got Dusickian before, then some great water setup. So if Dusickian sticks around, I'm going to really struggle getting through all these water monsters that are very strong. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not going to go into any more details than that. Let's go into the battle. So you might have noticed already, my 1-on-1 is not going to work. Sherloid completely counters 1-on-1, and that's just not good for me at all. And then next in line, he has the Roaring Entrance Purify Mist. So that's going to mess up my 1-on-1 as well. So I'm not sure what to do here. Trying to work out how best to do it. Unfortunately, I've just been massively countered here, and I was trying to do a fun 1-on-1 team, but nope, it's not going to work. So I tried to hit his Jaguardian around his Sherloid. At least I believe I tried to hit it there. It didn't show they blocked quite so well, but anyway, I think I tried to hit the Jaguardian. Or maybe I went with Sherloid. I think I did actually, to try and set up the 1-on-1. That's right, I did. And now he messed up with the monster that entered. Rather than using Purify Mist, he intended to use Purify Mist, but he hit Heal All. So that really paid off in my favour. I can now do the 1-on-1 if I'd like, to try and get that stuff going. I'd also really like to open him up to stun, because I've got a lot of stun with my Storm stuff. Just naturally, when you go with Storm, you get that. I'm unsure what to do exactly. And I decide to actually kill off... get rid of the shield on that. I'm trying to think exactly what I'm doing here. So I can do the Link Stun Flash, stun off the Flutter Quoids, and then it sets up the Time Strike double quite nicely. But oh, it's already stunned. Sorry, I didn't notice that. So I use the Time Strike double here. Can remove the stun protection from his team, and then hopefully do the Link Stun Flash. But unfortunately, we into a little bit of a predicament. There's a what do you call it? Stun Converter next in line. But anyway, what I should have done there was probably not the Slayer Bane, or I should have just done the Link Stun Flash. This is me looking back in hindsight, and I'm like, what on earth am I trying to do? What I should have done there was play a bit more of a control game. Maybe bring in kill off just the Disikian or something, and then do the Link Stun Flash. And Glaceon actually wouldn't get a turn from the Link Stun Flash because it's stealthed. And then I can try and, keep things going. I gave up my Strata-Strike completely as well, which is very unlike me. Normally I would have healed that and stuff, but yeah, I'm not entirely sure what I was trying to do there. Anyway, so he now has a kill on his Glaceon. So that's set up to sweep, and anytime he gets stunned, it's gonna sweep. Also, the Dolphreeze has got targets. There's a lot of Chrono targets right here. But anyway, so I kill off the Glaceon. I've just got to leave that Jagardian in here. The Blue Maluga is going to mess me up big time because I don't really have any way to kill it, especially behind a Protector. That setup of Diamondoid with, Dolphreeze with Blue Maluga is brilliant. It's actually something I immediately did as soon as I got Blue Maluga, and then everyone else started doing it as well. Not that they were copying me, but it was like the kind of thing you see and you're like, oh yeah, this is clearly the right way to do it. So anyway, I'm trying to work out what best to do here. I decide to try and chance these Dreamy Entrance, and it works. I also want to get back to a bit of stun protection, and Zeus Worm wasn't going to do any good while he was in the battle. So, just try and take out this Diamondoid. I've now got Bloodthirst charged on Chromera, but he's no doubt going to kill it now. Probably going to target the Chromera and Ryzen. That would be my choice. Oh no, he puts Dolphreeze, Penguinator to hold ground. Of course, because as soon as his Celestine enters, he can finishing snap it, so that's not really going to do much. We'll see what goes on. I have to kill the Diamondoid next. I can't actually hit around it with anything, so when my Penguinator gets a turn, there's no way I can heal it enough for his Celestine to not be able to kill it. So that was actually very, very clever setting up there of his Celestine. My stun here just being useless. Ryzen can't do anything. I can't Link Stun Flash here because that's just going to keep stunning the Blue Maluga, which is already stunned loads. Really unfortunate. I really wanted to be able to get rid of the Diamondoid and then do the Desperate Bite on Blue Maluga, but I couldn't do that. Really annoyingly. So anyway, I use the Link Double Retribution, take out his Dolphreeze at least. A load of stun goes onto my Bulby Boom. I was thinking at the time, like, maybe if I'd done the Counter Strike, then Glorionix would have stunned Bulby Boom too much. Maybe if I'd done the Link Stun Flash, I can't remember the exact seconds of things, but I wouldn't have really anticipated the Glorionix coming in. So now actually I can bring in his Sober King and it will set off my Fuse Explosion. Problem is, his whole team's shielded, so the Fuse Explosion isn't actually going to do anything here, which is slightly unfortunate. But it is going to kill the Sober King as soon as it enters, and at least it does remove the shields from all the enemies. So I do the blowback and set that up. I probably need to kill that Jagardian before it does the double retribution. So my target would be that, plus then either the Goma or the Karakenshi, but I'm not sure about the damage on Jinga Dragon's dual confidence strike because I'm attacking water monsters. So I hit Goemure, and yeah, sure enough, it didn't kill it, so it got healed up. And I need to try and stop the Link Slayerbane Ore here. I need to take down one of the two water monsters, and the only one I can really take down is Karakenshi. So I feel kind of forced to do the Chrono Killer on that. I'm trying to plan ahead at this point because we're getting to the end of the battle, and it looks kind of possible. I've still got a lot of monsters, and he's only got these last 4. But he has got Moku as well, which can sweep my team. Now, really annoyingly as well, I was 1 second behind Goemon. Oh my god. If that had gone in front of Goemon, then I could have counter-striked Goemon and then, maybe closed out this battle, but it wasn't quite there. But even then, actually, I'm not entirely sure if it could do this thing. So now we're getting to the very last bit of the battle, and it's getting pretty complicated for both of us here. So he decides to skip at that point. I can't remember the exact decisions being made here, but Goemon again can do the Link Slayer Banal if he hasn't used it already. I think actually he might have used it earlier on in the battle. I can't remember exactly. You probably know better than me while watching this. So, trying to work out what best I can do. I can't use the whatever that was I was trying to use. I can't remember now. Oh, Raw Blood Fury maybe. I was just trying to pass fewer seconds than the time strike double. So I skip back. He forced him to take a turn, because if he does a high second move or something, I can time strike double and hopefully do enough damage to Goemon. So we can see what he does. Now, he uses a counter strike, manages to get around both of my protectors. Very annoying, and I then thought, I don't think I can win this now. But anyway, so I do the hit all. I'm really hoping I can get Goemon's health down enough to then kill it with Malwing's Ultra Thunder. However, even if I do that, he can use the time strike all and kill my Don Dolguini, or my team, with his Glorionic. So I'm sat here thinking, see, it might kill Goemon, but even then I lose. So I sort of ponder for a little bit, trying to think, like, how can I do this? Is there any way I can do this? I could Reckless Time Strike on Blue Maluga. However, I'm not entirely sure if that's gonna work. In hindsight, maybe that was the choice to do. Maybe I could have done that, and then he wouldn't have been able to do that much, because he'd have to get round my protectors. But yeah, anyway, it depends on what order he was going to get turns. If he was going to get a turn with Blue Maluga, Glorionics before Goemon, then what he could have done was the time strike all, kill my Rockoids, and then use counter strike with Goemon to kill off my Malwing, and then you could close it out from that. Now, this is then a really awkward standoff that we've got, where his thing's stun loads, but I can't actually kill it before it gets a turn. And then I'm trying to work out, is it possible for me to line up a Link Mega Bomb to try and get a draw here? Because he can use the Tsunami Mortar, but I don't think he knows that it's probably not going to kill Don Dolguini, because Don Dolguini has good health and it's Storm. So anyway, I just have to purify at this point and hope for the best that Don Dolguini doesn't die to the Tsunami Mortar. And sure enough, it doesn't! So I get to Link Mega Bomb and we get a draw. It's so unlikely to get a draw, but I managed to chance a draw there. Now, before going into the final battle, I just want to explain how it's actually possible for him to get the win there. He didn't realise it at the time, and I hadn't perfectly worked it out at the time myself, but we both thought about it afterwards and worked out how it's possible. So the concept is that my Rockoid was a summoned Rockoid. It only had 130 second moves. His Blue Maluga was potted, so the Load Mortar was faster than 130 seconds. So the idea is he can spam the Load Mortar and line it up so at some point he will get a turn after my Rockoid has got a turn, so he'll be able to place a shield on himself, and then he'll get another turn with Blue Maluga before my Rockoid can attack and remove that shield. Now, in that window, the only way to remove the shield with my Don Dolguini is to attack it with Ultra Thunder. But if I do that, then I've left myself too open that he can just use Tsunami Water twice. And so that's not an option. Shielding my Don Dolguini isn't going to help either, because Tsunami is piercing attack. So it's actually impossible for me to do anything in those instances, in that instance, and I can't ever use the attack with my Don Dolguini at any point because it will open me up to the loss. So yeah, he could have just spammed that Load Mortar until things lined up for him. I couldn't do any crazy skipping either to mess him up. He basically had that win in the bag, but he hadn't worked it out, and he didn't realise. I mean, the main thing was he didn't realise that Tsunami Mortar may not kill Don Dolguini in one shot. So it's unfortunate. That little mistake meant that he got a draw, but I was certainly happy for him to make that mistake. Going into the third battle. Third battle has no special rules at all. We can just make whatever teams we like. And because I've been doing the ranked PvP that weekend, I didn't have much time to make the teams. I rushed them before doing the battles. So going into this, I just used my PvP team. I'm not going to go through loads of detail on this. It's a very powerful PvP team that's very reliable and does lots of things. It stuns, it sleeps, it has crazy stun protection, it counters stun stuff, it can counter loads of things. The main things to note is that the front line is very much about taking down things that are weak to certain types of moves. So like the Defang hitting poison monsters and the Swift Chrono hitting chrono monsters. The Raw Assassinate hitting protector monsters. So if they don't have particular weaknesses in their team, my team can be a little bit slow to do stuff. I also want to open them up to stun for the Nova Drake to hit, and my team is possible to stun if you kill the Leogeist before anything else, and then just stun from there before you bring in the Angel Lion. Only my Dracarosa is not going to get stunned. So that's a particular weakness of my beginning, and yeah, in the later on parts of the team, it's strong all round. The team which Chown used was ironically also his PvP team that he'd been using for the rank PvP. So he actually had this matchup many times over the weekend. I think maybe 3 or 4. I think of those battles, I won maybe one of those battles and he won the other ones. So I knew as soon as I went into the battle that it wasn't going to go well for me. Chances are I was going to lose. And anyway, so his one has the setup which I talked about before of Jagardian with Sherloid. PvP meta, like I said, is probably why he made it for the other stuff, because it's what he's been playing recently and he knows and likes it. Then you've got the Canis Shogun, which has Retribution, which works well with the Sherloid stuff, and also can create the Goldoids, which continues to work with the Retribution stuff and Jagardian. Both of them being stun immune or converter means that's going to work really nicely, and the Aura Dragon revives all that annoying stuff at the back of the team. And you need to take down Aura Dragon at some point, but you also need to take out these annoying Retribution monsters. And anyway, it goes into other stuff, and then the Link Water, which we've seen in his other teams, works nicely. He's got Centurion near the end, and then the Penguinator Moku, which he's had before as well. You can see where this inspired his other teams that he made. So going into this battle, I'm just sickened by what I see. I'm like, I used my PvP team because I didn't have time to build one, and he's just using his PvP team. He's like, it's so boring and stuff. And anyway, I was in a really bad mindset for this. That's the only reason why I'm absolutely fine that he used his PvP team. I used mine. I'm sorry, Chan, if you're watching this, and you can hear some of kind of like what I was actually thinking when doing this. And I was actually, as soon as I went into this battle, I was thinking about just rage quitting immediately, because I was like, screw this, I've done this battle multiple times over the weekend. I know I don't normally win. I'm not going to bother doing it. But I did stick with it and play it. So I tried to do the Sonic Strike and Canis Shogun. It didn't go round. I know that if that happens, I'm in a pretty good place to do this battle, but unfortunately it didn't. So I have to face these Goldoids and trying to get round them to kill the Aura Dragon, also the Jagardian. I'll say now, actually, because I knew that I wouldn't win this battle, I decided to pretty much ignore the Aura Dragon, because I thought, as long as I can get through his team, maybe I can just deal with all the 1 HP monsters at the back. Like, maybe it'll be fine. I may as well try to get through the team and focus on that, rather than try and do anything else. So with the Raw Assassinate, trying to work out if it's best to get rid of Canis Shogun or Jagardian. Decided to go with Canis Shogun because I want to do the stun wave on his team. However, unfortunately, he has Flutter Quois. I kind of forgot about that, and so I can't effectively stun him at this point. But I do it anyway. Just put Flutter Quois out of the battle, because at least then I'm facing a 4v3. Gets rid of my Aura Dragon immediately. My Nova Drake's going to die if I kill anything, because his Flocculosaurus is going to come in next, which is incredibly irritating. And I haven't really got any good attacks there, so I decide to instead open him up to stun a little bit more by taking out his stun absorber. Then my Centurion's going to come in, it's going to stun his team. I can then also take down the Flocculosaurus immediately. However, that is not an ideal monster that you want reincarnated at the back, because it still has its entrance. So I do pause and think about what I want to do first, before probably taking it out. But yeah, what I can do with this is Purify Mist, because Flocculosaurus can't do a whole lot if you're stealthed. And then I can use the Solo Blood Bite on Aura Dragon, but then I realise, oh no, my whole plan was to do Solo Blood Bite on Aura Dragon at this point, and then use the Night Watch to kill Aura Dragon. But I've got Glacier on in my team, which I should really know, because I've been playing with this team all weekend. But yeah, so I just go, screw it, I'm getting rid of my Megalo Dragon. it's let me down. And so I kill it off, and I'm like, Aura Dragon's not going down. I don't know what I want to do here. So let's just see what I choose to do. Alright, so in the end I decide to skip, which doesn't do a whole lot. I'm trying to actually skip to get Glaceon, his Glaceon going behind my Glaceon, so I can kill it first before it gets a turn. Now at this point it should now be possible, it should now go behind my Glaceon. So I do the Night Watch, bring it in, and sure enough, yeah, it's 2 seconds behind, so we're all good. He did a Heal Rear Guard, got monsters to face back there now. And yeah, I'd like to kill his Glaceon, but and Jack Guardian before they get a turn, but unfortunately he's got Ice Fang and it's going to repulse whichever one of my monsters that I don't use here to get a kill. So anyway, I think I decide to just go with the Glaceon, kill the Glaceon. Oh no, I hit the Aura Dragon. Decide it's the time to do other things. But yeah, that Glaceon is really going to mess me up now, because it can use the instant Toxic Killer on Valzerain and then follow up with a Raw Blood Fury immediately. And then also Jaguardian's then got a double Retribution, so in hindsight, really not a good idea. Plus I've got my Malwing Stunning Entrance coming in, so he can now just sweep like crazy through what I have. The Sleep Ghost and his Flocculosaurus doesn't really help me at all. That's probably the worst thing it could have slept. So yeah, now he just swept through a few things there. Jaguardian getting slept there does help a bit more. I could kill the Aura Dragon here, probably should. I don't know if I do though, because I think at this point I've kind of decided that I've lost. But we'll see. Smart choice would be to Night Watch the 2 monsters in the middle, and that is what I do. So as Ice Fang comes in, you probably should stun my Bloomaluga. He does that. He then tries to time strike my Bloomaluga, but it doesn't quite kill it. Bloomaluga's nice and tanky, so now's a good opportunity to kill his Glaceon finally. And we have got the Raw Blood Crave here, which is going to be nice. Really annoyingly, his Dolphreeze, if I got to it sooner, and this is where I can take over his team a bit, is if I got to his Dolphreeze sooner, then my raw monsters would do very nicely, sweeping through his team. But unfortunately I've only got 2 raw monsters, and I don't particularly want to leave him with 2 Diamondoids, because my Wraith Captain then can't sleep his team, so I can't control them in that way. Now his Flocculosaurus went to sleep first, so I decided to kill that. I can now also kill his Sober King, which is probably the smart choice here. I know I need the Dreamy Entrance on my team, got Centurion, but I had already used the Purify, so to be fair, it doesn't make much difference. My Sleep Double is not going to do a whole lot, but Dream Hunt isn't either, so I just spam the Sleep Double. And then I'm kind of thinking, actually, I should really go through that stuff, because I can't actually kill his Bloomaluga very effectively here. I've got to get through the shield first. Also, when that Stellar Shine enters, it can Finishing Snap my Bloomaluga, and then that very quickly sets it up for a Blood Fury. So it's not going to be good as soon as I kill something, and that Jaguardian's probably going to wake up relatively soon. So yeah, things aren't looking great for me. I use the Sleep Double again. My Wraith Captain's not going to help that much right now. So his Jaguardian's woken up, and that's what I'm debating about right now, because I kind of need to take down the Bloomaluga, but then at the same time, his Jaguardian is gonna sweep 2 when it gets a turn. So I decided to take down the Jaguardian instead. I decide, actually, I'll use the Tigeron stun that's coming up to stun his Bloomaluga, and that'll probably control that. Anyway, the Dreamy Entrance hits Bloomaluga just before it gets a turn, so that's ideal. Throughout these battles, I got incredibly lucky with the Dreamy Entrances, but unfortunately my Wraith Captain that could clone got killed. And anyway, he has got Centurion coming in, so my Wraith Captain once again has been countered by his Centurion. So anyway, I can take down something here. Probably should take down the Blue Maluga, I'm thinking. But whatever I do, I'm gonna get punished quite badly. So what's also not very nice at all is when Centurion comes in, he's going to kill 2 things, and that's going to bring in a protector, which means I can't use any raw move. But anyway, so he takes down my 2 water monsters. Because I didn't clear these Daimonoids, which I probably should have cleared with something, or just hit down to hold ground so I could clear them out quickly. I'm now in a very difficult spot where I don't have anything to hit round them, and they're both there on full HP. So anyway, I hit them down to hold ground, as well as getting rid of the shield from Centurion. And now I can get rid of the Daimonoids, but unfortunately he can just kill my Dolphries. Actually, no, he can't. That's it. I only got rid of one of them because if I got rid of both of them, then he could use the Raw Blood Crave and kill my Dolphries. So I did like that. And problem is, I can't now get rid of his Penguinator in time. So I've definitely lost this. There's no way I can do it. But anyway, I still carried on playing a little bit. Actually, no, that's incorrect. I'm about to retreat. I give up at this point. So anyway, thanks for watching. I got a draw and 2 losses. Bit of a bad start to the tournament, but some good fun battles. Hope you enjoyed watching it, and I'll see you in another video soon.